Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another one of these AlphaStar Starcraft 2 videos. Every other day is AlphaStar Day, and that means today is AlphaStar Day, if you guys can do the math. Sometimes I have a hard time doing math while commentating. However, 1 plus 1 is 2, and that means that we have got 2 AlphaStar games today. As you guys seem to enjoy the format with the current short game and then a long game. And personally, I really enjoyed it too, as variety is the spice of life indeed. Personally, during all this real world shenanigans, I'm just trying to consume as much Starcraft and video games as possible. Yeah, I've just been just trying to keep up, playing as much as I can. Honestly, I haven't been able to play as much StarCraft 2 as I possibly could. But I'm hoping to remedy that in the coming weeks. Honestly, I've been a bit addicted to like Feed the Beast, which is a Minecraft mod. For those of you that don't know, I sort of had my I'm not gonna say comeuppance because I've sort of just had my initial exposure to the internet through a lot of Minecraft stuff. I've ran a Minecraft server for nearly a decade at this point, and that game will always have a special place in my heart alongside of StarCraft. So that's a fun fact about me. That's where this YouTube channel kind of got its start. Some old Minecraft videos. But enough of my rambling while we wait for the intros here. If we take a look, we have gotten mirror builds from AlphaStar, mirror builds from the master player, as these guys are pretty much bang on just a normal opening. We actually have ourselves a normal opening from both players. Now, we have got double Stalker coming out of the Protoss player, the Masters player. Double Adepts coming out of AlphaStar. Adepts are slightly cheaper than Stalkers, so as a result, we see AlphaStar can afford the Stargate quicker than the Protoss player can afford whatever tech he's going for next. Personally, I'm honestly a big fan of going for the Stalker opening, just because I feel if you don't get any damage done with the Adepts, they're kind of useless. And I know the window is pretty big for trying to get something done with the Adepts, but just in my opinion, it's just so common for the Adepts just to get blocked out, then killed by your opponent if they go for 2 Stalkers. We see the wall start. AlphaStar's Adepts have been caught. Are they going to try and shade out? Yes, they do. AlphaStar does redirect the shade when it realizes there's the full wall there. But if we do take a look here, there's a proxy pylon going up for the Masters player. So I want to say this is going to be a Dark Shrine. Yes, it is. And it's been a while since I've seen a DT rush against AlphaStar, but oh no, we might not even get there. The Adepts make it into the main base of the Masters player. He even targets his own Nexus. That is not what you want to do, guy. Oh no, and he's not even really fixing it. Oh, this is a disastrous start from the Masters player. He's going to have to hope that these DTs get something done real soon. He starts up Charge as well. He's got 4 Stalkers to try and deal with these 4 Adepts, which shade into his base. But there's absolutely going to be probes dying here, and this is a lot of probes that are dying. AlphaStar is just wreaking havoc in the main base of this Protoss player. He's going to have his Dark Shrine finish up, which could potentially be a game-ending move. But oh man, I am ever concerned for our human player here this game. Let's take a look here. The Dark Shrine is going to finish up soon. The problem is he doesn't have a gateway here, so it's going to take ages for the DTs to warp in. There's already a Robo on the way for AlphaStar. Multiple Oracles have been made. Or, yeah, 1 Oracle died. Another one just popped out, though it's going to be staying back at home, so it can use that Revelation. That 1 DT is warping in now. Does AlphaStar actually see the Dark Shrine? Oh my gosh, AlphaStar even sees the Dark Shrine. This is a disaster for the Masters player. We'll see if this player is able to do anything about it. The first DT is going to run in. Well, I mean, I haven't actually seen AlphaStar use Revelation too much. It's going to move on in. The DT is going to run into the main base. There's no observer that's been fired up for AlphaStar just yet. The DT, though, it's not even properly targeting, or I guess it was targeting the Stargate pylon, but it's not been targeting the Robo. Both the DTs get picked off, and that's got to be lights out for this Masters player. AlphaStar totally just shreks this Protoss. Yeah, well done by AlphaStar. Okay, here we are into the next game. It's going to be on New Repugnancy. We're going to be having ourselves a Terran, which is AlphaStar, so the non-human human, taking on a Masters player, another Masters Protoss, and I've got to be honest, like, sometimes it seems like there's a trend that AlphaStar just wrecks, like, say, Masters Protoss or whatever, but in a lot of the games I've been casting lately, AlphaStar just wrecks everyone. It's not even fair. He just clobbers, or it just clobbers and clubs everyone to death. Just by playing straight up, its openings seem to be more and more solid, super effective. It is one persistent AI. Now, we've already got something a little bit odd here that AlphaStar will be facing off against. A low ground wall off for the Masters player, so I wonder if he thinks he's playing a Zerg or a Protoss versus Zerg. And then just, we've got a barracks on the way for AlphaStar, just going barracks, then gas. So, slight build, slight variation on the build there, just the slightly delayed gas, so you have the faster barracks, so you have the slightly quicker Reaper. It's really something just trivial at this point. SCV is going to try and save this one other probe. I mean, this Protoss player might actually be able to get AlphaStar's SCV, and oh, he does! Oh, you dirty little probe. That probe able to kill one of AlphaStar's SCVs, slightly delay the barracks. Fortunately for AlphaStar, it is not an AI, or it's not a human, so it doesn't get tilted over something like that. I'll admit, I play Terran. I've left games whenever this has happened. This probe, though, still being a pretty big nuisance to AlphaStar, gonna set its sights on yet another SCV, delaying the command center, as a matter of fact. And oh my gosh, don't let this probe, but it does. It kills 2 SCVs. Oh my gosh, what a monster. Somebody stop this mad probe. Killing 2 SCVs, delaying AlphaStar by, I'll say, a significant amount. Killing the first probe is like, oh my gosh, that's huge. Killing the second is just monumental. Like, delaying the barracks at first, then delaying the command center, significantly lowering the income of AlphaStar. We then have an Adept on the way here for the Masters player. No Chrono Boost on that, interestingly enough. Usually you Chrono Boost out the Adept to get it out quick enough to stop the Reaper. So the Reaper will jump into the main base of the Protoss player. Will this Adept shade in there? Because this Reaper could be about to return the favor of some probe kills. How well does AlphaStar micro this Reaper? This Protoss player micros his probe back, but isn't able to save it. So far, I'm getting good vibes, though, from this Protoss player. Losing the one probe, kind of unavoidable, just by going for a gateway expand. Second Reaper's out for AlphaStar, though, which is definitely a build variation here. The 2 Reapers are going to get one of these probes. The Adept shades. Looks like one of these Reapers, though, a little bit injured, but still going strong. So this could actually be pretty bad here for the Protoss player. Oh my gosh, AlphaStar. Double Reaper play. So sick. The Reapers just killing off more and more probes, left, right, and center. AlphaStar is basically just saying, right, you killed off 2 of my probes, or 2 of my SCVs at the start of the game. I'm going to pay that back to you. And as a result, we have seen 6 probes. Oh my gosh, 6 probes go down to 2 Reapers. I know in Pro Starcraft 2, we've been seeing the meta basically change a little bit, which we have seen 2 Reapers some of the time, but man, 6 probes already is just huge. It's definitely going to go up too. We see a 7th and 8th probe go up. One of the Reapers finally falls for this Protoss player, but this is just bad news bears for him. A shield battery even was built in the main base to help with this, but the double Reaper play, quite unconventional, something that Protoss players are not used to dealing with. And AlphaStar totally just takes control of this game by massacring his opponent's worker count. We're seeing Cyclones and Marines go on back up at home for AlphaStar. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a push out with these. Interestingly enough, Hyperflight Rotors is on the way here for the Masters, for AlphaStar, pardon me. There's 2 Adepts. They might try and cross the map. We'll see what they'll get done, but with 2 Cyclones out, I'm thinking it's probably not going to be a lot. These Adepts, are they going to complete the shade into the main base? No. They see the fact that there's a Banshee on the way, or with an upgrade out in the tech lab. So, probably going to be a counter to Blink, or a counter to Banshees on the way for the Masters player. Kind of something that you got to do. These 2 Adepts actually do complete their shade. I'll be surprised if they get more than a couple SCVs. Yeah, 2 Adepts for 2 SCVs. Not a great trade for the Protoss player, who is equal with workers to his Terran counterpart, which is not good at all. AlphaStar is constantly building SCVs, as is usual. AlphaStar actually gets a little bit supply blocked here, which is kind of notable. Yeah, if we take a look, though, I mean, this Terran player, I think, is honestly just going to be able to go for a push out onto the map. The Masters player is going to move in across the map with these Stalkers, trying to get anything he can, but a Siege Tank is going to repel those Stalkers, force them back. The 3rd base is now on the way for the Masters player, notably delayed. Quite delayed, as a matter of fact. Then, just AlphaStar on his merry way. Making Siege Tanks, making Banshees. We have got ourselves Cloak on the way for AlphaStar after the Hyperflight Rotors, then +1 attack. I also do want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen, if I sound like a little bit groggier than usual in my videos. I have been working nights lately, and that essentially means that in order to catch videos, because of my awful sleep schedule, this Banshee doesn't get picked off. Does he blink after it? No, he doesn't. That probably could have been a kill for the Protoss player. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been a bit groggier than usual, just based on the fact that I have to do videos essentially right as I wake up, because I don't want to be that guy who commentates after getting off work at like 3 a.m. in the morning, or 6 a.m. in the morning. Basically waking up my neighbors. I don't want to do that, so it kind of limits my window as to when I can cast. So I got to cast as soon as I wake up. So for like the first video or 2, sometimes I'll be a little bit sleepier than usual. This is a lot of Blink Stalkers here for the Protoss player. Actually a very significant amount. He gets a cancel on AlphaStar's 3rd base, which is a good move. Now AlphaStar behind this is just building up Stim Marines, just getting up Siege Tanks, Banshees. I don't hate the position for the Masters Protoss player. However, the numbers don't really lie in this game, so this is kind of bad for the Masters Protoss players. He's behind quite a few workers, quite a bit of army supply. The Banshees of AlphaStar terrorizing this poor Protoss player still. The Observer shows up to help try and shoo this away. However, with the Hyperflight Rotors, AlphaStar's Banshee micro seems to just be off the chain. More and more probes going to be going down. AlphaStar is just so relentless. The Stalkers blink after. They don't get the Banshee, though, because the Observer is too slow. A Banshee at the 3rd base wreaking havoc. More and more kills. 8 kills on that Banshee. We're seeing 9 kills on that Banshee, so 1-upping his Banshee, or her Banshee counterpart. All the while, AlphaStar is just making so many Marines, so many Siege Tanks. It really does seem to have a playstyle that works. Just harass your opponent until they falter, and then just build up a big army, even if it's not the best. A lot of Siege Tanks on the way out for AlphaStar. I mean, the army that AlphaStar makes after all this Banshee harassment doesn't actually tend to be the best. But oh boy, is it ever an army. We're going to see a bit of, or we were maybe going to see a bit of an odd play from the Masters player. Blink up with all of his stalkers, but he decides not to do that. AlphaStar is now going to be moving out to secure its third base. I love the Templar Archives on the way here for the Protoss player, who, by the way, in this game, I will say, is not dead, but not in a great spot. More Banshees show up to the third base. I think we're going to need to see a recall or something. The Blink Stalkers actually pick off the third base of AlphaStar, which is absolutely huge, but I don't know if it's enough to counter all the damage that has been done here by AlphaStar's Banshees. It's definitely a start for the Protoss player, but AlphaStar is still just surging up in supply, 8 Marines at a time. The Templar Archives is done, but no Psystorm is being researched, which I think would be great. A great tech for the Protoss player based on how many Marines there is that AlphaStar has. The Banshees just everywhere. The Stalkers move out away from the third base of the Protoss player. There's more and more probes going to be dying. It just seems to be impossible to stop all these Banshees. Do the Stalkers blink after? No, they don't. There is a cannon at the natural base, which maybe can kill one of these Banshees. We shall see. One of the Banshees goes down. AlphaStar is just so relentless with these Banshees. Looks like one of them gets picked off there. There's still 2 flying around. Of course, AlphaStar has another Banshee out on the map too. High Templar now on the way for the Protoss player. And I mean, the start of this game looked pretty good for this Protoss player, but AlphaStar could just be moving across the map now to kill his opponent. It's 190 supply to 124. Once again, the numbers not great for the Protoss player. I mean, I want to try and say, like, oh yeah, there's hope for him here. I mean, I'll say there's definitely a chance, but it is not a big one. There's just so many Marines, so many Siege Tanks here for AlphaStar. The Siege Tanks could deal some friendly fire, but this is just so much here for AlphaStar. The Marine's going to pick off the third base. The Protoss player going to have to abandon this location. And with that, I mean, Psystorm's going to be on the way, but there's only one High Templar with energy. Really, the Marines move forward. The Protoss player's going to have to retreat once again. He's got Psystorm on the way. He's chrono boosting it out. He started it just a little bit too late. I mean, one good Psystorm could really shred up these Marines, but I am not inclined to believe here. Stalkers trading out versus these overstim Marines, but oh man, with the tanks encroaching for AlphaStar, it might just be a bit too much. The charge lots are going to move forward, try and buffer. A Psystorm goes down. More and more Psystorms going down for the Protoss player, but I don't think it's going to be enough. AlphaStar is going to crush through, and this is just, just a great play from AlphaStar here, once again using the Banshees to cripple its opponent, and then just follows up with a pretty basic Marine Siege Tank push. And this Protoss player is dead. He can micro these 2 Stalkers all he likes. That will not cut it. Of course, a Banshee being a pain in the main base still. And yeah, well done by AlphaStar. Just going to get another victory here. Ladies and gentlemen, I once again forgot to say it. Make sure to slap that like button. Let's be super ambitious here. The Protoss player has 40 probes still. Let's try and hit 40 likes on this video. Of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the videos, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to average like 10 subs a day so we can hit 10,000 subs by the end of the year. That would be sick. But I'll see you guys next time. Join the Discord if you haven't. Thanks to those of you that support the channel via the memberships. We are up to 6 members, which is huge. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez.